Okay, so somebody asked me to do a puzzle collection video of all my puzzles, and this is my video. So this one is the snake puzzle. I forget exactly how many pieces it has, but you can make different shapes like the snake, or it starts out as a straight line. Like that. They just call it a snake because it can bend in different ways like that. So that's my snake. This is the Crystal Pyraminx. It works similar to a normal Megaminx, but it doesn't have centers. Just works a little differently. So that's the Crystal Pyraminx, and the ones it resembles are these two, the Megaminxes. And this one I like better because it's smoother and has tiles on it, which makes it easier to grab and handle than this one. And this one, the stickers peel off very easily, so I like this one better. These are my Megaminxes. And here's a Volcano or Trickness. This is a variation of the Pyraminx. It has sides that stick out. You can turn those, or you can turn in the middle. So that's how the Volcano or Trickness works. And this one, I'm not sure what this is called. I got it for my birthday. And it's an assembly and disassembly puzzle. What you do is you just take this ring and try to take it out of here. And then you can try to put it back in again. That's this one. Look kind of like handcuffs, almost. And this one, I also got this from a local store. I'm not sure what it's called. It has 7 different pieces, and you just disassemble it and then try to rebuild it as a cube. It can turn into a cube in different variations. It doesn't have to be the same exact format. Now these two, they're from the same company, and this one's a lot easier than this one, but they're both relatively easy. They're also disassembly and assembly puzzles. Just take the pieces out and put it back together again. Here's my Blade Cube by Dian Cheng, which I made a tutorial on also, and it's a pretty dangerous puzzle if you think about it. It hurts if you get stabbed. So you just have to be careful with this cube. It's pretty fun though. Here's a puzzle ball, which works almost like it works like a normal sliding puzzle, except you can just turn the pieces this way and it goes all around. It's curved. Other than that, it's not much different from a sliding puzzle. Also, you don't have to worry about exactly where each green piece goes on the green side or anything, because they're not numbered, or they're not pictured or anything. Otherwise, it's pretty simple though. These two. This is the Die Pyramid by Dian Cheng. And this one's also by Dian Cheng, I think, and it's the Tank Cube. They both work pretty similarly. They both work like the normal Rubik's Cube 3x3x3. The only difference is that the shapes are different, and some pieces have more than the amount of colors that a normal one has. Like, for example, this one is a corner piece. It only has 1 color instead of 3. And this is a side piece. It has 4 colors instead of 2, like the normal Rubik's Cube. Otherwise, they're solved the same way. Here's my Gordian's Knot, another assembly and disassembly puzzle. Just move the pieces around, try to take the piece out, and then you put it back in together. That's the Gordian's Knot. Here are my crazy cubes. And I try to put them in planetary order. Here's Mercury, Venus, Earth. I have 2 Earths. I had one before I got the whole set. And then another one arrived with the set. So I have 2 Earths. Mars, Jupiter, I made a pattern with it. Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and the circle cube. Some people call it the sun cube, but I like to call it Pluto just because I learned that there are 9 planets, not 8. And I just call it Pluto. So it's the normal circle cube. All sides turn this way. Not fixed. So these are my crazy cubes. Here are my normal Rubik's cubes. They're not from Rubik's, so these 2 are from Rubik's. My dad made this one. He cut out different stickers and put them on into different shapes. I think it looks kind of like hieroglyphics in a way. And this one my sister made. She decided to use a theme of Pokemon. And so this one's a Pokeball. Here's the food they eat in there called onigiri. Here's Squirtle and water droplets, Pikachu and lightning bolts, Bulbasaur, grass, and Charmander and fire. So I think these are pretty cool, but they're the same as normal Rubik's cubes. These 3 are all from Diane. They're very smooth, they cut corners very nicely. So these are my best 3x3x3 cubes, and I like this one even better because they don't have stickers, so you don't have to worry about those. And so those are those, and here are 2 of the same types of cubes by Dian Chenge. This one I just took out the centers to make it a little bit more difficult. You can think of it as a holy 3x3x3 puzzle. Since you have no center to start off with, it's a little more difficult. And then here are 2 mini ones. I forget where they're from, but they're really small and they work pretty nicely for their small size. Now here's my 2x2x2. I think it has a spring base, so it's very smooth, unlike most 2x2x2s. Very nice, very smooth. And here are my 4x4x4s. This one I just got it today. Forget exactly where this came from, but the sticker peeled off, so. But so far, this one's the best one I have so far. This one's the Rubik's brand, which is very stiff at first. Now it's pretty nice compared to when I first got it. And this one, I'm not sure what brand this is from. Oh, it says it's from Diane and MF8, right here. This one works pretty well too. It's only a little large and bulky compared to the others, so that's why I prefer this one. They all work pretty nicely right now. Here are the V cubes. This is my 5x5x5 and the 7x7x7. I just made a little checkers pattern in the center over here. And compared to the number of pieces they have, I think the V cube works very smoothly and very nicely. They don't get stuck too much. Pretty smooth. So the V cubes are pretty nice. This is from Cube For You. It's the 3x3x4. And it's pretty difficult in certain situations. But it's a little hard to mix up in the first place. But it works very smoothly. So I like this puzzle. And here's a wooden 3x3x3 Rubik's Cube. It's a collectible, but it still works. This was also kind of stiff when I first got it, but now it works smoothly enough as long as you don't try to speed solve this one. Because it's wood and it's not as flexible as plastic, so I have to be careful with this one. And here is my 4x4x4 crazy 4x4x4 type 3 by Diane and MF8. This is probably one of the most difficult puzzles I've ever had. I just learned to solve it a while ago. But once you solve it, it becomes a little better and it becomes somewhat fun too. It's not complete right now. Here, this is another assembly and disassembly puzzle. I'm not sure what you call it. You can get it at those little toy dispensers where you drop in a quarter, turn the handle, and you get a toy or candy. And here's a larger one, and on the inside I have a smaller one. And that one just broke as I took it out. But there was a smaller one in here. These small pieces, and inside of that I even put in marble, which is nice. The small one's small enough to fit inside the larger one. So that's that. And these two. This one's from Dian Cheng. It's my 2x3x3 crazy. One side moves separately from the outer sides, and this one moves with it. This one was slightly difficult at first because it only has 2 layers in one direction, and I wasn't used to that when I first got it. Now it's a lot easier now, since I know how to solve it now, but it was a little difficult at the first time. That one. This one's from Wood Eden. This is a 3x3x3 super cube. These 2 sides move separately. Otherwise, it's the same as a normal Rubik's Cube. This puzzle I just got today. It's a curvy copter cube, and it's pretty difficult right now. I haven't solved it yet, but I'm hoping to soon enough. I just got it today, so it's a little difficult. Well, it moves very strangely. Like, instead of moving it all the way, you can just move it a little bit and then turn the other side. Sometimes you can't turn it though, because this piece is in the way, which makes it even more difficult. But it's a very interesting puzzle, and I like it so far. Here's my axis cube, or angle fluctuation cube. And this one's similar to the blade cube, it's just small. It just has smaller proportions, slightly different shapes. But it's also kind of sharp and somewhat dangerous sometimes because of these points. Otherwise, it's very smooth and very easy to deal with. It's a really nice puzzle. Makes interesting shapes too. So, and the same goes for these two, which are the Master Morphinxes or Pure Morphinxes. And these I like a little better than the Axis cube and the Blade cube because they're rounded and they don't hurt as much. They also make really nice shapes. For example, they can do this, switch as these two, and sticks out. If you do that to all of them, then it looks very strange. So those are the Master Morphinxes. Here's my Mochi Pyraminx, which works basically like a 2x2x2 with different types of pieces. Some of them have 3 sides like the normal one does. Some of them have only one side. And these make pretty nice shapes too, like this. Very interesting puzzle, but pretty easy to solve compared to others. Here's my Fisher Cube, designed by Tony Fisher, of course, and it works like a 3x3x3, except instead of turning a side this way, like a whole face this way, you turn it this way. Some of the centers have two colors like this, so that just makes it slightly more challenging, but otherwise you solve it the same way. Here is this one is my Holy Pillowed Cube. It has a completely different concept, so at first it was pretty difficult. Now it's pretty easy now, though, since I know how to solve it. And this one is, I'd say this is much more difficult than this one. And this is a Master Scoob Cube. It has very strange ways of turning and has a lot of pieces, so that just makes it more challenging. So those are my Scoobs. Okay, so that's the first half of my collection.